Hello and welcome to my vlog for the 17th Sunday in Ordinary Time. As you can see, it's a slightly different view of my room. This time you're looking towards the piano rather than my armchair. Some people have made comparisons between myself and the late great Ronnie Corbett sitting in that chair, and I'm not sure if I should take that as a compliment or otherwise. Never mind. So here you see me propped up against the piano, which is probably one of the great passions of my life. I enjoy playing the piano. I won't say I play it well, but I derive a lot of pleasure from it, even if nobody else does. So, our reading from Matthew's Gospel. Jesus said to the crowds, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which someone has found. He hides it again, goes off happy, sells everything he owns, and buys the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he finds one of great value, he goes and sells everything he owns and buys it." The key to understanding these parables, I think, is the idea that creation is suffused with this thing called holy wisdom. And it is fitting that our Old Testament reading is taken from the Book of Kings, and it speaks of Solomon as a young king asking the Lord for the gift of wisdom. Wisdom is not the same as knowledge. And unfortunately, there is a tendency for people to confuse the two, but it is actually really quite different. Knowledge is just fairly sort of bland fact. You know various things. You know the distance between East Grinstead and London is so many miles. Whereas wisdom is essentially something ethical. And the important thing really for us to get a handle on here is that God's creation is an ethical creation. You know the story of creation in the first chapter of Genesis. Every time a day is completed, God sees all that he has made and says that it is good. And goodness is a ethical marker. If something is good, then it is of value. So creation is good. Jesus is asking us to be people who can see the true worth in things. So you can look out in a field, say, and all you see is grass and maybe a few sheep or something like that. It means nothing to you. If you're a farmer, then it's a completely different thing. You can look out in that field and you can see a whole lot of characteristics, a whole lot of values at work in that field. You can see how fertile it is, what sort of soil it is, how it drains, whether it has frost pockets and things like that. And that field takes on a whole range of values, economic or agricultural values. So you can see one field and another field, and for us it all looks the same. For that farmer, one field is quite different to another, with different characteristics. And so we see this idea of the man seeing a field, and it contains something of it of great value. We tend to think that it's a pot of gold or something like that. It might not be, but if it's a pot of gold, fair enough. It's enough for him to sell everything he has to buy that field and the good that is within it. So our task to enter into the kingdom of God is to actually see the good in things. When I was at college, I used to make a big thing about transferables, transcendentals, they call them, which is goodness, truth, and beauty. Yes, beauty, goodness, and truth. And these three things always work together. If something is truly good, then it will have beauty, and it will also be true, and all the other different combinations of it. So these things are at the heart of our Christian ethics, to see truth, beauty and goodness in things. And if we can do that, then we are seeing that imprint of God, and if we are seeing the imprint of God, then indeed we are living in the kingdom of God, and that's a wonderful thing to do. So my friends, what can we take from this? I think we can take from this that we need to cultivate an eye, an ear, a mind attuned to goodness, to beauty and to truth. And once we see these things scattered around the world, scattered indeed throughout our lives, scattered throughout the lives of those who are near and dear to us, and even scattered among the lives of people we don't really like very much, then we are entering into the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God. And that's a marvellous thing to do. Thank you. Goodbye.